champ is here! The champ is here!
Yo, what's up, fight fans? And we are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I am always your host, Edwin. Where do all fights start? Round one. What up? What it do?
Round one.
Hey yo, what's up, Frontline? Hey yo, Frontline, tell me, do you hear me loud and clear? And is my mic good right now in these settings right here? This is what I had to hear. Hold on. Give me a second. I even put myself on YouTube. I got to hear this shit. What's up, fight fans? And we are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I am always your host, Edwin. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. So, fight fans, we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to discuss on this purse bid that happened in San Juan, Puerto Rico, hosted by the WBO. They did a great job. You know, they got in, got out. They said what it was. Went back now today, and I did a little bit more digging up on the scoop, on the story, and what's gonna happen with this money. And in fact, is all the money just focused on them too? Apparently so. Apparently so. So a lot of you guys were right too, and I was right too, because I mean, you can go both ways with this. They can take money off and pay for a better co-main event. You know, I don't know which avenue they're going to do, but we're going to talk about that. We're going to break down all these kinds of ins and outs and what transpired. So I went back and I looked at the WBO more in depth, what was said there. I totally missed this the first time because I was live streaming, so I caught what I caught. Then I just went into my reporting. So when I went back and I looked, they even challenged the bid with Top Rank as the envelope, well, it was a white one, was it sealed? And they said, yo, those bids, when they come in, they gotta be sealed or they will be discontinued. Yo, he called them out on that. Now, what if Top Rank's bid that goes up to the commission, you know, like they like, yo, hold up. Under the rules and the guidelines, that envelope had to be sealed. Now the WBO quickly picharon pa loco. You seen them? They diverted it. Nah, they made the qualifications, and they gave the $2,000, and we're gonna take that because WBO ain't running away from the 8.5 because that's half that they got a percentage in that money. You know what I'm saying? There's a title on the line. So the hold on. We ain't putting this fight to 2.3 million. But yo, technically so. Yo, he called him right out on that. What do you guys think about that? First of all, just the first initial, Teal's team was playing by the rules. They had the envelope sealed. Homeboy was struggling, trying to open it. He was like, right. So, yo, what up? He's like, yo, chill, right? Yo, then homeboy over here was like, hold up, right? He gets his envelope. He sees they takes it right out. 8.5. That's the winner. Homeboy said, hold up, wait a minute. You said the envelope gotta be sealed, and that nobody can know what the bids are or who's bidding. Gotta be. Yo, he called him out on that shit. I was like, oh shit. Oh, I was like, wait a minute. Hold up. Is that bid good? Was that bid non and void? Yo, I was like, no way. Yo, when he called him out on that, I was like, whoa. Yo, wait, hold up. So you see that, like, they was like, nah, 8.5. So apparently, right? You like I said, there has been athletes that understood the value of taking less. Players like Tom Brady, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan wasn't the highest playing Chicago Bull basketball player while he was on the team. He didn't get the most money. No, He knew the value in paying others that would get him in better positions to win games, right? The value and giving to yourself. Meaning, if Devin and Keyshawn was to take a little less, right, which is not going to happen, right? Good luck. Good luck. Now let's just remember at the Barclays Center, Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis, right? What was they gate, right? No. Okay. They had a $5 million game. So Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney was at the Barclays Center, right? If I'm not mistaken, they pulled a little over 4 million, a little under 5. They pulled like 4.3, 4.6, some shit like that, if I'm not mistaken. Devin and Ryan at the Barclays. Yeah, I'm not sure Keyshawn got a bigger name than Ryan. Now, remember, out of the 3 places, I'm just maybe it might be at the Barclays Center, this fight, if Keyshawn takes it, which we're going to get into, right? I'm not sure Keyshawn and Devin does a better gate than Devin versus Ryan. Listen, if you paid 8.5 for this fight, and you give 8.5 and you split that 75-25 between the 2 top fighters, right? That means you're going to have to invest more money out of your pocket, which the promoters are going to come out. They got to pay for the venue. They got to pay the rest of the card. So you're going to probably be into the fight, having people cover the fight, press conference, all that, the hotel rooms, everything that the promoters got to pay for, top rank, right? So now you mean to tell me you got to be into this fight 10, $12 million by this point. You think at the gate they're going to cover some of their losses? And you think how much pay-per-view buy sales is Keyshawn and Devin alone? How much you think they can make? Listen, first of all, they got to get back 8.55 to recoup their losses. They're into the fight 8.55 already, top rank. How much money you think they're going to invest more? And so in order to break even, they're going to have to get back what they invested, right? And as far as how things go, how fights are made, it's investors. It's investors. As you can see, co-promoted by DH. He believed in his own fight with Top Rank. And I think Keyshawn should have took the 3 if the 3 was really on the table. Now, Keyshawn, what worries me is Keyshawn has not said yes yet. Keyshawn's still being stubborn, even though he lost. My man, you lost in the first bid. You took it to trial and you got found guilty. Keyshawn. Now you in upstate talking about you want an appeal. And you think they should treat you right. Now, now look, Keyshawn's a top-ranked fighter. Co-promoted with Jay Prince. Right? So, will Top Rank bend the knee and say, Keyshawn, we still going to give you the 3? And that's going to come extra then. I don't know how this is going to play out. I have a gut feeling. This fight is not going to happen. I think Frontline might have been right. Frontline was talking to me off camera. Like we were just talking. And Frontline his worry was, yo, Ed, bro, I'm not sure if this fight's going to happen. You think it's going to happen? It got signed, the purse. I said, yo, Frontline, bro, we've been here before in history now, haven't we? We've been here before. You see, there was a time in boxing where that the fighters always thought I had to take the fight. This is my job. This is what I do. When the tough fight came around, I don't think the boxers back then thought they had options. And I think that the fighters took the fights that were given to them. Now, in today's standard, the boxer is viewing more options, a more strategic way to the bag, if you would say. And I think that boxing has not held these fighters to a standard in boxing with that the Jake Pauls in the world and the PBC, Al Haymans of the world, really mixed up boxing in their own unique way, and Floyd. That combination, if you know what I'm talking about, if you know your history of boxing. And what I'm talking about is the sudden change in the sport and what we deem worthy to fight for titles. Nowadays, you can lose a fight and get a title fight in your very next fight, be awarded a title fight. Nowadays, you can take one fighter from one division, not even fighting in the next division, be the number one contender in today's standard. Is today's era watered down? That is the question. Is today's standard in the sport of boxing? Are we no longer are we whipped as fans? So many years of not getting the fights we wanted, they pushed the fans into a corner, and we're finally saying, a lot of us, we don't care who you fight, just fight. That's when you know the machine has won. You're no longer questioning the quality of the fight. You just now want to watch a fight. Because for so much inactivity from these boxers, only fighting once a year or once every so often, that you just want to see them back in the ring. Is that what we are? Is that what era we live in now? That not even the best guys we have in the sport are not even the face of boxing and not even viewed or making the kind of money they should be. But the guys that have more star status, or call it what you want, that it factor, they seem to be making all the money. The Jake Pauls of the world, the Ryan before the belt, because now Ryan's a champion. They seem to be taking the majority of the pie. And to be honest, I'm left baffled from the man coming from an era of like the Sugar Rays and the freaking Floyd Mayweathers, the Roy Jones, the Mike Tysons. That's my era. When I came from that era, I'm a bit spoiled. And when I see some of these guys, sometimes it's hard to say that they are the best, or that that's the best I ever seen, because I would be lying. But in order to see this era, I gotta bring my standards down from the Manny Pacquiaos of the world, from the Floyd Mayweathers, from the Winky Wrights. Yo, listen, these guys were different, and you can see it. Now we're over here, you know, we're in discussions with a purse bid with two fighters that actually I don't think should be in the ring. I think that they baited Keyshawn Davis into this position, and he was talked up by his little Call of Duty buddies, and he went into a division he really doesn't shouldn't belong. Because of Keyshawn Davis' inability to stay focused outside of the ring, he's in the situation where he's at now. You're all the way up here at 147, and you shouldn't be here. But because of the fact that you can't fight Shakur Stevenson, that was going to be the next person in line for you for a belt, you chose to move up. You systematically put yourself in a situation in your career you really shouldn't be in, Keyshawn Davis. And Devin Haney and Bill Haney and company, they're going to take full advantage of the situation. Keyshawn Davis has a star status, people gravitating slowly towards him. He's fucking up in recent fights and making up for it in other fights, but still, he is a buzz in boxing, and Keyshawn is good for boxing. It really brings that American flair in your face, real boisterous. When Keyshawn is in the building, you know he is, because he's loud as hell. So, like, that kind of personality and the way that he fights is good, but he shouldn't be here. Kind of reminds me of a situation I once saw. Edgar Berlanga versus um, Canelo Alvarez. Berlanga was good. He was decent. He was a good puncher and shit like that, but he didn't belong in that fight. He didn't belong in that fight with Saul. We knew that. And Berlanga talked his way all the way up there, and Ed Hearn dressed Berlanga up and fed him to Saul. And it was supposed to be Puerto Rico versus Mexico, and Saul was going to get that knockout. He set Edgar up. They was, oh yeah, you can do it. Yeah, oh, you're the next best thing, Edgar. And everybody ate it up, and we went along with it. And the whole time they had a gun behind Edgar's head. Same shit they're doing to Keyshawn David is it doesn't seem like a lot of people are really paying attention. They're just paying attention to the squabble. Yeah, we getting a fight, we getting this and that, round one, blah, blah, blah. Nah, you're not looking at the selection. They handpicked Keyshawn Davis, Devin Haney, and Bill. They literally handpicked him. They sought him out. They saw what he was. It was either him or Tiger Johnson. And Tiger Johnson's name is not ringing like Keyshawn's. So Keyshawn was the winner. Tiger Johnson doesn't have the status Keyshawn does. But they're both flashy. They're both good, but they're both not ready. Now, if Tiger Johnson was to fight Keyshawn Davis, that would be a fight. That would be a fight. See, they're there. In actuality, that's both of them are where they are at the same level. Tiger Johnson and Keyshawn Davis are actually at the same level. That would be a hell of a fight. For both of them, they're not ready for Devin. Devin's going to outsmart them. It's probably not going to be the prettiest fight. Maybe not. Okay. I think Devin beats both of them in a decision. Go figure, right? Yeah. Don't sleep on Devin. If Devin wants to turn it up, he can. He just hasn't chosen to. Devin could have switched it into another gear against Brian Norman Jr. I just want you to know that. He just felt like I don't need to. That's how I feel about Devin. He has another level. He was like Devin was like on high alert the first part. As soon as he dropped Brian Norman Jr., he like shifted into cruise control. And he stood right there in the fight, and Devin, he was winning like that. There was no need for Devin to take it up a notch, he felt. But if Devin wants to take it up a notch, bro, he can hurt you. He just got to get that fucking, that beast out again and believe in it, sit down more on his punches. Devin's been sitting down on footage more on his punches. Let's see what happens. But overall, I don't think Keyshawn got the skills to really, this is boxing. Of course. Keyshawn does crack. Okay. And Keyshawn's pretty fast. I think you're gonna see that for a while. Systematically, Devin's gonna sneak shots downstairs, upstairs. He's gonna start to like Keyshawn up. He's gonna fuck with Keyshawn's mental. Keyshawn's gonna see that after like the 6th, 7th round, Devin's basically doing what he wants, right? And Keyshawn's not gonna be able to catch up to him. Then I think that Keyshawn's gonna try to, make attempts. I think Devin's gonna stop him at the door. He one good shot like that. It's not gonna knock him out, no, but it's gonna get his attention, Keyshawn's attention. And I just think that Devin's just gonna outclass him, basically. Yeah. I think Keyshawn is he's a good fighter, man. It's just he's not on Devin's level yet. He's just not there. And Devin knows it. Devin knows it. They're the same age too. So it's not like Devin is saying, I'm fighting a younger guy or this guy's older. There's none of that. They're the same height. Devin got 1 inch reach advantage. 71 to 70. They're identical. They are identical. Keyshawn and Devin. Devin just got the more experience. And Devin got a smart jab. He's got a smart jab. Just because Ryan Garcia got to Devin doesn't mean Keyshawn can. No. I think Devin's going to be on high alert. And as far as the fight, I'm not sure if Keyshawn takes this fight. I don't think he does. I think look, and the sad thing is, realistically, Keyshawn, you got nowhere to go. Realistic, business-wise, Keyshawn, you got nowhere. All the other champions are taken up. What are you going to do? You're going to sit on the shelf? Oh, and by the way, they got 90 days to put the fight together from the moment of the purse bid. So these guys got to get in there and start training, right? Where are you going to go, Keyshawn? Who the fuck is going to give you $3 million to fight who? Like right now, in the next 90 days or whatever. Then on top of it, remember, Keyshawn, if you deny it by the WBO rules, you get taken off the ranking system until your next fight. Then they figure where they put you at the bottom. Now, Keyshawn can take a hit here. The first organization that he ever had a world title with or ever done business on a world championship level was the WBO. You can skip out on the WBO and announce yourself in the other sanctioning bodies, the WBC, the WBA, the IBF. You know the WBC, they some suckers, right? Tomorrow they'll announce Keyshawn Davis as the #1 contender. That's what they'll do, right? So instead of backing the other sanctioning body and saying, nah, you skipped out on them, we're not fucking with you, and showing strength among the organizations. But sometimes it can be a dog-eat-dog world. You know, I think that other organizations backed up the IBF with that Zuffa shit with Jail Pataya. The organizations all came together and was like, nah, we're not fucking with you, Dana White, right? Type shit. So, you know, I mean, Keyshawn can skate out on the WBO, that'll be bad business. The WBO in the future, if you ever want to fight for one of their titles, just ask people like one time Keith Thurman. He badmouthed the WBO, called them a fake organization. They're not a real belt, all kinds of shit because they wouldn't fuck with him or whatever on that Tim Tszyu fight. And look what happened. So, I mean, if Keyshawn Davis wants to play crazy and say, nah, I'm not taking the fight, I'm not happy with the money, like ask yourselves, where else are you going to get that kind of money, Keyshawn? And then the fact that you welched out on the deal. The reason why we went to the purse bid because you said no to the 3. You already had 3. You got greedy. You lost. Now that you lost, what? Now you're going to back out? Bro, you're the one that put in the mandatory paperwork. You're the one that requested the fight. Yo, they set you up, Keyshawn. And before you knew you were being set up, you were like, oh, shit, now I want more money. Just in case I lose. So now Keyshawn's getting cold feet. Now he's really realizing, oh, shit, I actually got to fight Devin Haney. For as much shit as they talk about Devin Haney, just fight him. Just fight him. Let me see. Show me that you can beat him. For his garbage, his pillow fisted. Okay, fine. Devin can beat all that. Just get in the ring, whoop his ass. That's it. Do what Ryan Garcia did to him. Austrian aside, whatever. The fight is a no contest. It doesn't count. Fine, the fight don't count. But that ass whooping did. I believe Devin actually took those punches in that ring. His body recorded the fight. You could take away the number. You could, the allegations, the year suspension, no problem. You win. I got nothing to say. But did Devin Haney take those punches? Did the fight actually happen? And did he actually get his ass kicked in the fight? Yes. Yes. You can't take that away. My eyes will never erase that. I saw what I saw. Ryan Garcia beat the shit out of Devin Haney. Okay, fine. Cool. Oh shit, Ryan Garcia ain't that good. Okay, you keep thinking that that's how fighting works. That's not how fighting works. Listen, Naoya Inoue, for as good as he is, he's not beating Usyk. Naoya Inoue is a much better fighter than Usyk. Put Naoya Inoue in the ring with Usyk if you want to. He gonna knock Usyk. Usyk's gonna punch him, and Naoya's gonna go over the third rope into the crowd. At some point, you're just too big. Ryan was too big for Devin. He was too big for Devin. His punch was too heavy, bro. It was just Devin couldn't sustain the punch. If Ryan was the same weight, the same size, and he hit Devin, Devin probably would have took the punch better. Ryan was just too big. Yo, Ryan Garcia might lay out Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn Davis is a better fighter, better technical fighter. He has better agility. I think he does everything better than Ryan. But that's that check hook to the body or to the head. I'm not sure if Keyshawn can take that. I'm not sure. Ex Oscar Duarte. When Ryan Garcia popped that back molder out. He said, yo, that shit's bothering you? I got you. You know, I'm gonna save you money. That way you don't gotta go to the dentist. I'm gonna take that out for you right now. Ryan Garcia. I'm not sure it's Keyshawn. All his skills. Sometimes your attributes are too much for the skill guy to overcome. You know, and I think that look, anything can happen in boxing, and I mean anything. Devin can be coming in. Keyshawn sees an opportunity. Devin does something early in the fight wrong, and Keyshawn hits him. I'm not sure Devin survives. See, because when Devin survived against Ryan, Ryan was taking deep breaths in between attacks, right? Although, and Ryan would throw like hard punches and shit, but and then he'd take the next round off, shit like that. And Ryan started turning his back on him. Ryan didn't have the gas tank. He didn't want to gas out against Devin. That was in his head. So that's why Ryan would start letting off on the action. Keyshawn would be better in shape. Devin can't get hurt against Keyshawn, depending on where we're at in the round. Say there's 20 seconds in the round left, Devin might be able to survive the round and get out of the round. Like if we're early, we're deep in the round, like say Keyshawn catches him 2 minutes and fucking 21 seconds into the round. Devin goes down. You got 2 minutes and fucking and 21 and whatever seconds left in the round. Devin's in trouble. And that goes both ways. That goes both ways. But no, not actually, no. That does not go both ways. That only goes Keyshawn's way. Devin hasn't proven to be that ferocious killer. Devin, late, he'll put you down and he'll just work from the outside. And so if Keyshawn goes down, there's a chance the fight could still go 12, as we saw Brian Norman Jr. go down very early in the rounds and survive the entire fight. Okay, Regis Progress. What round did he put Regis in? Devin? What round did he put him down in? I forgot. So, as you can see, no, that does not go both ways. But if Keyshawn smells blood, he's gonna jump on Devin, bro. He'll definitely he's not gonna let Devin off the hook. You know, Keyshawn, I think, is gonna go for it. And him being young in the sport, if he doesn't get Devin out of there when he jumps on him, he might have, like threw a lot of punches like Pringa did. Like Pringa did against AJ. Pringa thought he had AJ. Dropped him twice in the round, well, 3 times actually. I told you that body slam for me counts because your body records it. Yo, you just got manhandled. That does something like, oh shit, like, motherfucker, you threw me down. Like, it does something to you. So anyway, 2 official knockdowns. But Pringa, he threw a lot of punches and then he went into an exchange with AJ at the end there. AJ kind of got the best of the exchange, but Pringa was trying to take some time off to recharge the battery. AJ saw it and jumped on him. So that's like, let's say Keyshawn hurts Devin, right? And jumps on him and he can't finish him. Devin survives the round. I've seen that in boxing happen. It just depends how they respond. Keyshawn, Devin, they're both still young, you know. Um, hold on a sec, gentlemen. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that, gentlemen. Because my daughter's doing a swimming thing and stuff, and I just telling her that she got home safely and everything. So I had to let my wife know because we gotta, we communicate. But anyway, back to the show. So let me read some of you guys' chat. What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in. What's up, Pug? How you doing? Pug always got some ill shit to drop. We don't always agree, but gotta admit, he does say a lot of interesting shit, right? So let's go back all the way up and respectfully, frontline. He's at work. I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? Here at Round One Sports Talk, we pay you way more money in your contract. Okay, you wanted a bigger offer. I made you a bigger offer. Made you happy. Where you at that job over there? This is where the real work goes down, man. You know what I mean? Frontline, you need to be up here. fucking, fucking frontline and Pug. What's up, man? What's up, boo-boos? How you doing in the building? Either way, these fights are making good money more than UFC fighters. I agree. I agree with that, but you know, there's a problem with that statement, right? Um, the problem is that the viewership of boxing of late seems to be a smaller circle, but the prices are going up. And they're starting to try to, and these fighters are asking for all this money that the fights themselves are not really generating. And the fighters are demanding all these money because of past people that set the bar and started paying these fighters an outrageous amount of money. Another fighter sees that from the outside and says, well, you know what? I want that kind of money too. And the fighter doesn't really understand that it's only valued by how many people you bring in to see your fight, how many tickets you sell. How could you expect that kind of money if you're not selling those kind of tickets? And fighters need to understand that. But greed is a motherfucker. It's got Keyshawn Davis thinking that he deserves upwards of 5 million, 3 million. Those are some of the numbers I've been hearing. You're not worth 2 million, Keyshawn. This fight actually is not worth, it's probably worth $6 million, to tell you the truth. The entire card. I'll buy this fight for 6 million and hopefully I make an investment on it. I make a good profit on it. Like, I'm not sure. I don't think they're Like I said, I don't think they're going to do bigger numbers than Devin and Ryan. I don't think Keyshawn is a bigger star than Ryan. And remember, Devin and Ryan Garcia's gate at the Barkley was 4 million point something. They didn't break Ryan Tank. They didn't break that gate, right? It was under it. So you think if they put the fight at the Barclays Center, I'm just asking you, you think Devin versus Keyshawn, for as much shit as people saying, Keyshawn can beat Devin, well then come out and support the fight if you believe that. You see, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has an opinion. But what are they going to do when the fight is actually comes to pass? Are you going to buy it or are you going to pirate it? Are you going to go to the fight or are you going to watch it in a bar? Are you going to invite people over your house and have a boxing party for Keyshawn versus Devin? These are the questions I'm asking. So, look, Top Rank already, they invested 8.5. If you give that all to the fighters, to the main card, you still got to buy the venue and you still got to get a card together. So now how much more money are you invested in this fight? You already got to make up 8.5 just to break even. Just to break even. Ex Oreño, fresh promotion. If they broke even in that Subriel fight, did he lose money or did he invest too much with 1.9? And did that 1.9 go all to Subriel and Dalton Smith? Or did he scatter it out? So I guess neither of us were right or wrong. You can give it all to the top. Yes, it's up to you as a promoter. They bid it on that fight. Yes. All the purse money is, yeah, that's theirs. You as a promoter, are you willing to do that? So how much more money are you going to throw at this fight? I'm not sure you're going to get back what you put in. Top Rank might be believing in Keyshawn and Devin, and they're the only ones. Gio tried to come in and get it on a sweet deal, huh? 2.3 on a sweet one. What's the pay cut? 75.25 on 2.3? What's that? Do the math. Oh my God. Right? But yo, shout out to Tio, man. He saw a business opportunity. He tried to take it. He tried to take it. And as far as the people saying, well, why didn't Devin bet on the fight? He did. He bet it on himself. So if it wasn't for Devin himself putting up money, who else puts up the money for this fight? That doesn't put up red flags. There wasn't no turkey in the room. Wasn't no Ed Hearn, no Oscar, no Frank Warren. None of them dudes came to buy this fight. And that does not alarm you. What you're arguing about is the split. How much he's getting, how much he bro. This doesn't worry you. I'm not sure Top Rank makes back their 8.5. I think they might be in the hole on this one. And if all the 8.5, like you guys say, goes right to the fighters, well then the Barkley wants their money. Who else is going to fight on the card? Just them two? Them other fighters need to be paid. So you're not just invested 8.5. Now we're starting to trend this way. The bill keeps going up. Oh, I hope you guys sell a lot of popcorn. Oh, you don't get a cut of that. That's the Barclays money, right? Shit. Dan, you better make him sign a lot of autographs. I hope y'all sell some. Look, pay-per-view buys. What do you think the number's gonna be? Me, I'm gonna take a guess. I'll give them 120. 120,000 buys, pay-per-view buys. And that's stretching it. I was like, man, I wanted to give them lower. Like I'm hoping, I like Devin, man. I like Keyshawn, man. I don't want this shit to tank, man. I really don't because I could hear the fucking criticism tomorrow. Fucking world's gonna come out, Ed Hearn. I tell you they were barring. Blah, 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 blah. Fuck you. Always downing on the American fighters. I'm trying to see a positive to this, guys, too. You know, um, Look, I don't think the fight is worth this much because I don't think it's gonna generate this much. I think a lot of these fans are shit talking fans. I think a lot of them Devin Haney maniacs, they like to Twitter finger and they like to be recognized. But when it comes to support the fight, show me you're supporting the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that these fans are not gonna support this fight like they're claiming. And that's the problem. Yeah, you like to talk for Devin, you like to talk for Keyshawn Davis, but are you supporting them? Are you pirating the fight? Or are you buying the fight? Are you going there to watch the fight? Are you doing a fight party and charging people so that you guys can buy the fight? What are you doing? What kind of support are you doing for these two fighters? And that's where the problem lies. Look, I respect both these fighters. Just I'm not sure when it comes to generating, selling tickets. Will this fight sell out? First of all, is this fight gonna sell out? Is Top Rank gonna start getting closer to the fight, looking and going, "Oh shit, this whole section right here is still purple. This is all purple. This is all purple." Like there's seats everywhere. That's like a promoter's nightmare, right? Then the day of the fight, you get all the people, the walk-ins. A lot of people come into and they buy the ticket right at the thing. They walk in. Americans drag their feet. So sometimes promoters, they've been through situations like this and they really count on the walk-in number. Sometimes the walk-in number can be pretty high. And then at the day of the fight, you finally sell out the event. That's happened, and then promoters will do other kinds of gimmicks like Ed Hearn, Oscar De La Hoya's done this, where that they saw that the fight wasn't selling as good. Their promoting team must have sucked, right? And Ryan's fight didn't generate so quickly. They just opened the door. Anybody walk into the fight because they see the main event at the co-main event is still empty. You open the door, you just let the streets come in. The place fills up a little bit. You gotta, there's just, you got as a promoter, you gotta know when to cut your losses. You gotta start to do things. But that's what makes great promoters. Don't freeze. Don't freeze. Do something. Oscar said, open the doors. Boom. Got a little crowd. That's better. That's what you see. You know what I'm saying? Just don't raise the camera up too high. But that's what promoters do. And a good promoter will have your back. He'll have your back. Specific instructions. Yo, stop flashing into the fucking thing. Put the camera down here. Do this. Do that. He's gotta have your back. You know what I mean? So, um, look, there's this small boxer in the back of my head saying, "Yo, Edwin, Keyshawn, he no female, no sign. He ain't signing, bro." I'm worried. I'm worried. I'm like, damn, that was like Frontline's biggest concern. Frontline was like walk while he was watching everything, and he kept telling me, yo, uh, just because they entered the purse bid, uh, one of these guys still pull out, and I'm like, yo, Frontline, don't worry about it. They bid it. We're gonna get a fight. No, Edwin. Half hour later. No, but Chris doesn't have to actually take the fight, right? I'm like, yo, frontline. And all of a sudden, I'm starting to see reports he hasn't signed yet. He's still like on the out. And I'm like, wait a minute. You didn't do all this to get here, not to sign. There's a problem. I don't think Keyshawn likes. And to tell you the truth, I think he's starting to like feel like, wait a minute, they rushed me into this fight. I will fight Devin. I think Keyshawn will fight Devin, just not right now. Allow him to get and put him in against tougher guys, or at least let him fight, you know, um, the top guys at 147. You know what I mean? And let him tackle on that. Um, I'm not eager to say like, okay, yeah, fight the winner of Rolly, and Teal type shit. No, no, because that's a process. You would need somebody right now for Keyshawn to fight, to get prepared and to get ready for a fighter like Devin. Keyshawn could always come out here and surprise us. It could always be that moment in a fighter's career. I just needed that fight to prove that I'm him. Duran Butenis versus Xander, right? We knew that Duran Butenis was good. He just hadn't had those opponents yet. Kind of similar like Keyshawn. Keyshawn is saying, I'm good, just that I haven't had the right dancing partner to really showcase my entire arsenal. Could that be the case with Keyshawn Davis? But Keyshawn Davis been waiting, working, developing all the way till here. Now that's the question. Is he gonna pull off one of those types of moments where like Floyd Mayweather did against Hernandez, the first world title fight Floyd ever fought for? Hernandez never lost at 130, bro. He was a monster. He was just that dude was a monster down there. And Floyd Mayweather came in young, really fairly not really challenged. And they said that Floyd at the time was all special effects. That they didn't really think that they Top Rank keep managing well and all that shit with Floyd. But Floyd was serious. And Floyd was telling the world, yo, all I need is for you to give me that guy. And on paper, Floyd was outmatched here. On paper, yeah, Hernandez should have whooped Floyd's ass. Yeah, Hernandez should have whooped Floyd's ass on paper. You know what I'm saying? If you knew if you know, you know. But Floyd came in there and I mean starched him. He made him quit. I think Hernandez's brother, his coach, threw in the towel, if I remember correctly. You know what I'm saying? He broke that man. So could that be a possibility that Keyshawn Davis is like, yo, listen, round one, you say that Devin didn't have to turn it up a notch. Well, neither have I. Keyshawn Davis is saying, man, I was bored as shit. And that fucking um um fight, his last fight there with what's his name? Albright. I was bored as shit. I didn't feel like I wanted to take it up a notch or nothing. Well, actually, Keyshawn started fighting better at the end. I remember walking away from that fight saying, why didn't you do that at the beginning of the fight? That's what I remember saying. And the Albright Keyshawn. Now, sometimes I'll miss up fights or fighters' names. Round one, I'll do that. Yesterday, I was calling fucking Lewis Crocker fucking Josh Kelly. You know what I mean? Yo, I have a lot of boxing up here, right? And I'm still learning. Oh, I got a lot to learn. So what I'm saying is, what was I saying? Shit, I lost my train of thought right there. God damn it. Hate when that happens too. But I was saying about uh Louis Crocker and shit, and this dude, and I was calling him that before I was. What the fuck was I talking about? I fucking totally se me fue el hilo right there. And oh yeah, about Keyshawn Davis. Okay, yeah, all right. I think that Keyshawn Davis, he's a talented fighter. You know, um, I think he's a talented fighter. And could it be a case where that he's been waiting, to be really tested to push him to get to that fight? As far as the bidding is going and the money is going and everything, it's not seeming that way because when it seemed like when Devin Haney was in a similar situation, when Devin Haney was confronted with a similar situation, they told Devin Haney take less money to fight George Camboza in Australia. And that was a big risk. Not a lot of guys would ever go out and fight in their backyard. In fact, the great Floyd Mayweather has never fought outside of the US in his career. Floyd has never gone to Russia, Japan, you know, Australia in his professional career. No amateur fights. He did that amateur shit like in Japan, shit like that. That don't count. But during his reign, Floyd's reign, he never left the US one time. Floyd was fuck that. I ain't going out there. They're gonna rob me. I ain't going out there to fight. No, you want to fight me? Fight me here. Floyd said. Devin Haney showed back then that it wasn't about the money. It was about the legacy. And in this situation, you look at Keyshawn. What is this about? Money. They ain't talked about legacy. If we ever got into the point in the fight that we're saying Keyshawn's fighting for the chance to be the WBO champion, we haven't even gotten there. So you know what this fight is about. It's about money. Keyshawn's not in it for legacy like he claims. I want to fight the best. I want to win the belts in the divisions. I want to do no. You want a new car, a new house, and a new gold chain so that you can go get new biddies. That's where your mind's at. Keyshawn's already cashed the check in his head. It doesn't seem to be about legacy because if it was about legacy and he was confident in the fact that he could beat Devin and become the 147-pound WBO champion, he would have said, all right, give me the 25%. I'm going to bust your ass. I'm going to cash in on the next fight like Devin did. But you ask for more money right now because you don't think there's going to be a next fight because you're about to lose this fight. So if you lose this fight, you want to get paid handsomely because you're not going to be the champion. That's what it seems like to me. If Keyshawn Davis had that dog, right? Remember that you were saying, why wouldn't Virgil Ortiz take the 55-45 versus Jerron Butenis? You're so confident in your ability. Then the brother started saying, yeah, you know what? You're right. Take 55-45 if you think you can win. See what I'm saying? And if Keyshawn Davis really thought he could beat Devin, would you offer me the first time? $3 million. I'll take it. Because after this fight, I'm gonna have the belt, $3 million, and that's what they're gonna pay me my next fight. I'll cash in on the next one. But if the roadblock is here, you ain't really thinking about a next one, are you? You focus on this one. You made it all about this. You went, Bill Haney went, sought you out, got you to agree to it on camera. He put the bait in the line, threw it out. You got hooked on the line. Once you got hooked on the line and Bill Haney and Devin started reeling you in, you realized you was a trapped fish and you started flaring, trying to escape, trying to get out of it. But Bill and Devin, by that point, they were already trying to remove the hook. You were in the boat already. Keyshawn Davis. And Keyshawn fighting for his life, trying to flop out the boat. He want to get back in the water where it's safe. Because now he know he in danger. Bill Haney got him like this, taking it, and Devin's right behind him with the knife, sharpening him. And Keyshawn's looking at all this shit going down. Bill's putting him on the chopping wood right now. Stay still. Devin, you got him? I'll take it from here, Dad. I'll take it from here. We're going to have some sushi right now. They're going to start off by cutting off his head. You know how they do it. Boom, head, tail. Got him. Keyshawn trying to get out the boat. He's done, son. He's done. And at this point, if Keyshawn doesn't take the fight, what is it, gentlemen? What is it? What does it officially become? You done dragged us all the way to a purse bid. Keyshawn, you denied the $3 million. You got people to pay $2,000. $4,000 got paid. So the WBO, they made $4,000 for like 15 minutes of work. Right? You got people to already spend money on you. If you walk away from this fight, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Technically, you're a duck. What do you guys think? Does this make Keyshawn Davis a duck? If reports are true, and Devin's already signed, Devin's good. Devin's ready to go. Of course, Devin's ready to go. This has been Devin's plan and Bill's plan the entire time. They've been sitting back there like this. Got him. Got him. Keyshawn is good, bro. He is good. Not sure he's ready. Keyshawn would have to prove that to me and the rest of the world. He has to beat Devin. Can Keyshawn do it? Yeah. That kind of fighter, Keyshawn. Yeah. He's got Keyshawn's got more than a puncher's chance in this fight. Devin's got to be on his game against Keyshawn. Yeah, he's got to be on his game. But Devin's just gonna win. He's gonna edge out every round. I think it might be a unanimous decision. It'll be one of those fights where the fight was better than what the score said, because there's gonna be a lot of rounds that were competitive, but they're gonna go to Devin because Devin's gonna do slightly enough. And it's gonna be one of those fights where you're gonna feel kind of like Karen, like the Karen fight. I felt Karen did a lot better and gave Jerron a lot more fits. But when you went and looked at the scorecard, it was a landslide. Jerron Boots Ennis on paper beat the shit out of Karen. But when we watched the fight, that's not what we saw. We saw a better competitive fight. Jerron just did a little bit more to win the rounds. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of gonna look like that, I think, with Keyshawn and Devin. It's gonna look competitive. Yes, it is. It's gonna look way better than what you're gonna look at the scorecard. And the scorecards are gonna be red, and everybody's gonna go, boo! Nah, Keyshawn did better than that. Kind of like Edgar Berlanga versus Canelo. We felt Edgar Berlanga did better. He even had some punching moments where he hit Canelo. We was jumping up and shit. And then when you looked at the scorecards, he didn't win a round. Not one round he won. What? Nah, bro. Edgar Berlanga won 2 or 3 rounds, right? And nope, not one round. I think one judge gave him 1 round, right? I mean, the fight wasn't all that competitive. It was Saul beating him, but I felt like Edgar was always there. He was in the fight. And there's going to be fights like that, you know? There will be fights like that. Where the scorecard doesn't tell the story. I feel this is going to be one of those type fights. I just think that Devin's going to edge out way more rounds. And Keyshawn has shown the ability to take breaks and lack in the action. Look at Albright. Albright was able to survive 12 rounds with Keyshawn Davis in his last fight. And I really believe this. If you put Albright in the ring with Devin, Devin stops Albright. He stops him. Devin will stop a fighter like Albright. Albright's decent. He's a decent fighter, man. But he's just not there yet. Albright got a lot to learn. Devin's way past Albright. Devin will get the knockout he wants against a fighter like Albright. He'll systematically piece the fuck out of Albright. And Keyshawn couldn't figure Albright out. When Keyshawn decided to fight, though, in the fight, like I said, when I walked away from the fight, I felt like, yeah, Keyshawn, why don't you do that in the beginning of the fight? That's what I felt like when I remember thinking back to the Albright Keyshawn fight. That's what I remember. And I say to myself, damn, brother, but you know how they say you can't read into everybody's fight? Like sometimes I'll alert you and I'll tell you, yo, don't read into that guy's last performance because it'll fool you. He had a bad performance. Yo, I was right on both scenarios with Ryan and Devin. You got to admit I was right. When Ryan lost to Rolly, you guys was like, Ryan's no good at the PEs. I said, nah. I said, wait a minute, guys. You got to add in the year ring rust, the fact that he was young, he got all that money. He wasn't disciplined. I said, don't read too much into the Rolly fight. I think we're going to get a better version of Ryan in his next fight. What happened? He beat the shit out of Mario Barrio. I said to you guys were all over Devin. Devin was down bad. He fought Jose Ramirez. He was down bad, right? Then I said to you guys, what did I say? Yo, sometimes fighters have these kind of fights. And you guys were like, yo, round one, let's play the fucking sad story, right? Because I was like, don't buy into what Devin's fight against Jose. And you guys, round one, you crying, right? And I says, no. He says, look, sometimes fighters have these kind of performances. Don't read into them. What happened Devin's next fight? He beat the shit out of Brian Norman Jr. I was right. I was right both times. Sometimes fighters have these fights, man. And I said that about Tank with Lamont. I said, if you think other fighters are going to have the success they had against Tank that Lamont had Roach with him, you're sadly mistaken. See, Lamont Roach had sparred Tank. He had new things about Tank. He was more familiar when Tank does something, he caught on to it. Other fighters are not privileged to that experience with Tank. They would have to figure that out. See, Lamont Roach cut corners with Tank. He already knew and what to expect. And that, my friends, caused Lamont Roach to fight Tank Davis at a better fight. But these other guys don't got that. They're going to have to figure that out with Tank. And in one of those opportunities, they can go wrong and Tank can land a big shot. Lights out. You can't fucking let Tank hit you with that uppercut too many times. You're going night. So Lamont Roach, so that's what I mean. Like, yo, bro, fighters can't, you cannot say that because Ryan Garcia did that to Devin, that Keyshawn will do that to Devin. No, Keyshawn's no Ryan Garcia when it comes to that kind of speed and power, that size. But Keyshawn, in a weird way, is a better fighter than Ryan. But he can't beat Ryan. I don't think so. I don't think Keyshawn beats Ryan. Ryan's too strong for him right now. Allow Keyshawn to get stronger at 147 and come back and talk to me about that fight. I think eventually Keyshawn will beat the shit out of Ryan. Let Keyshawn develop at 147, allow him to get stronger, allow him to feel out some of the top guys. Know what it's like to feel that power, that intensity at a real 140 pounder, 47 pounder. And then talk to me about Keyshawn. Ryan. At that point, Keyshawn might know how to nullify that check hook, you know, keep Ryan at bay, survive the famous body check hook or the top one, and fight Ryan at a distance. Ryan's been a bit more focused. His defense has been better. He's implemented that straight right. And in his next fight, I expect Ryan against Conor Benn to even be more dangerous. I think Ryan Garcia is going to knock out Conor Benn. 6'7", right around there. He's going to knock Conor Benn the fuck out. It might be earlier. Conor Benn comes into bulldozer. But as far as Keyshawn, if you give me Keyshawn a little bit more prepared at 147, I'll have a bit more faith in him. Let me see what he looks like at the top guy before you throw him in with Ryan. Check hook Ryan. Check hook Ryan is dangerous. Ryan's got a fucking punch, bro. He's got a real punch. He's got a punch from the gods. Ryan clips you on the end of your chin with that shot. Keyshawn just got to prove to me that, he can handle the onslaught, stay disciplined behind his jab, and work the angles against Ryan. Focus Ryan like Mario Barrio. Gonna be a tough assignment for Keyshawn. But right now, right now, you take Keyshawn Davis today, put him in the ring with Ryan. I got Ryan. Right now, I got Ryan. Keyshawn hasn't proven himself at 147. I got Ryan in the fight. But if you gave Keyshawn some fights at 147, depending what he looked like, everything, talk to me then. I think it might change my mind. It all depends, because by that point, shouldn't Ryan Garcia be getting better? We can't just say, okay, Keyshawn acclimates to the division and Ryan's the same fighter. He would obviously be getting better during this process now, wouldn't he? So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I seen Ryan Garcia in there with a more skilled fighter, a Black American skilled fighter. That didn't work out too good for him. For as all the non-skills people said that Ryan Garcia was, right? He was a C+ fighter. And Devin Haney's an A+ fighter. For all that shit, for all the skills and eye test, oh no, man. Clearly, Devin is the more skilled of the fighters. Clear as day. But what happened? What happened? That at any point in the fight, the Devin on his end, Devin's performance, no, doesn't matter what Ryan was doing. What was Devin doing? At what point did Devin Haney look like an elite A+ fighter in the entire fight? What round? Type in the chat. Say, round one, Devin looked like Devin Haney in the 5th round against Ryan. In the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th round, Devin Haney looked like Devin Haney in the fight at all, at any point. Please type it in the chat. I want to know. Go back. We'll go to YouTube. I'll rewind the fight. And we'll go right to your round. We'll sit here and we'll watch it together. Show me what round Devin looked like Devin. For the A+ fighter that he claimed to be, all that A+ fighting shit didn't matter now, did it? That's not how fighting works. It's not how fighting works. Yo, Keyshawn, you could be flashy, you could be fast. The understanding, the delivery, the placement, and timing is a key essential to fighting. The not panicking when the guy is attacking you and still being able to make the read. Notice he dropped his hand the last sequence. He bent this way, trying to lure him into the same sequence to get him to do the same movement. Just like Caleb Plant set up Homeboy, right? He said, pow to the body, boom, stretched him, right? So luring your fighter back into that and remembering, not all fighters have photographic memories. Not all fighters can, in the moment, recognize things. Some fighters are just throwing punches off instinct when they were trained. They don't even know themselves why they're throwing punches. Their body is just trained to throw them. And that happens. But making a lead, setting a fighter up, that's a ring IQ that is gradually growing fight by fight. I'm not sure Keyshawn Davis is that kind of fighter. I know Devin Haney is. He set Brian Norman Jr. up for that. He broke right through the guard. He knew he threw his punch with confidence. He knew exactly what he was doing. That wasn't no fluke knockdown against Brian Norman Jr. He didn't punch him with his eyes closed. He stood right in front of him, slipped the shot, pop out, and dropped him. That's called a sequence of in a combination. Very effective one. Devin does shit like that. Keyshawn is he's just punching and delivering, throwing combinations. Real good form. Um, he sets them up well. I mean, Keyshawn's not just a average fighter. He's slightly above an average fighter, bro. Keyshawn. I would say he's a B minus fighter, B plus fighter, right in there. He's not no A plus fighter. Devin, Devin is an A plus fighter. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He just doesn't have the plus. He's an A. Sorry, did I say A plus fighter? Devin's an A fighter. He's not an A plus fighter. No. Devin claims to be an A plus fighter. He's just not. But he is in the category of A fighters. Yeah. You can even view him as an A minus. But I think he is an A fighter. He's just not an A plus. And Keyshawn is a B fighter. He's a B fighter. He's the kind of fighter that he has all the potential to go this way in his career with those skills. Yeah. Keyshawn can do it. He can do it. He needs a little bit more time, understanding a little bit more about boxing. Uh, but yeah, he's got the potential. But will he? Is this another case where the lamplight takes our boxer away from us too soon? He thinks he accomplished it all. And now it's time to party and to celebrate my wages because I just got my highest payday. That's what I need to do. See, that's people that don't know how to live with money. Never really had any money. See, a broke person, when they hit the lottery, first thing they think, shopping spree. A rich person hits the lottery, the first thing he thinks, the money in the bank. I already got money. Just put it in the bank. I'll think about what to do later. I got other things to run. It's just more money. Just put it over here. Broke person, shopping spree. I want to take care of my family. That's how we're molded. We think that if you get a lot of money, you're supposed to get out of the ghetto, out the hood, and bring your entire family with you and save the neighborhood and splurge. What you're supposed to do if you hit the lottery, invest in yourself and think about how to learn how to live with money. Learn. Get someone that teaches you, an advisor, so that you learn how to keep your money and make money off of your money. You're not supposed to think shopping spree, gold chains, Jordans. I'm buying a car. I'm buying my mama a house. No, no. Let's say you got $10 million tomorrow. There will be no buying a mom house, no buying cars, watches, none of that shit. Why? Because I'm making an investment. Because I want to buy my mom a house, my friend stuff, and I want to buy myself stuff. But first, I need to learn how to keep making money with the money I have. There'll be time. I'm going to get to y'all. I'm going to get to myself. First, I want to make sure I can afford it. That I can afford whatever I spend doesn't affect me. I got more money coming in than I got going out. First, I want to get there. Then, mom, you want a house? I'm gonna buy because I can afford to buy you a house. I'm not just spending blindly. Yeah, I just got like so many millions. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna buy you a house. You're not realizing how much you're spending. You're not growing with your money. You don't know how to live and how to manage that. If I did you a favor tomorrow and I gave you $1 million, you'd be broke in a few months. 3 months, you'd be broke. 4 months, you'd be broke. You don't know how to manage $1 million. I wouldn't be helping you. You understand? You first got to. So that's the problem with a lot of these things, and a lot of these athletes fall under that. Keyshawn Davis asks for this bag, and we think that he's going to become this amazing fighter, and then all of a sudden he turns into Tank Davis. Seemed like after Tank Davis got the bag, he no longer cared about the challenge or proving himself. He got spoiled fast. He had to go out and buy his whole neighborhood and go out and get his brother chains, himself chains, all the homies, of course. 'Cause I'm gonna put you guys all on my back. All the distractions took him away from the sport. Then his job that when he was actually supposed to be doing. Tank Davis. Is that what we're seeing with Keyshawn? You give the fighter what he wants, the bag, in return, thinking you're going to get the biggest fights coming up. What you did was give him money, and in 5 years, 3 years, these athletes are going to be broke again. We're trained to do it backwards. We come from nothing. That when we get something, we don't know how to. If you didn't work for it, and you don't know how it is to earn $1, you're not going to care if it was easily given to you. If I gave you $20,000, you just spend it. You wouldn't know how to make that 20 40 and turn that 40 into 80. Turn that 80 into 160. Like you're not going to know how to do that. Cuz you didn't have no work, no whatever it was, no business, no sales. You're not gonna how to recoup it. It's just a matter of time before you go broke. Yeah, so I mean, it happens to a lot of athletes. What athletes need are these advisors to tell them in the beginning of your career, even when you get your first check. After when you get your first check, keep wearing the clothes you're wearing. You'll have time to switch clothes when you understand that you can afford something. Learn the value of $1 first. When you understand and learn the value of $1, you won't be so eager to spend. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Eminem. Eminem, he's like one of the dudes that once he got the bag, bro, that dude understood real quick. He's like one of the cheapest rich people on earth. Eminem. But when I learned about him, I learned what he's doing. Eminem doesn't buy anything unless he asks his fucking accountant, hey, can I afford that? And after I buy that, where will I be in money? How much will that set me back? Nah, bro, I can't buy that. I can't buy that. Nah, that's too much money. That's how MB. Eminem, bro, that motherfucker won't spend shit. He want to stay rich. He understands the value of a dollar. $30,000 on a fucking watch or a gold chain? Are you crazy? Nah, I got millions. I can afford that. You might want to check that out with your accountant. Can you afford that? When's the next time you got another 30 coming in? Like, yo, money's a motherfucker. You got to learn how to live with it. And I think Keyshawn Davis right now, a great talented fighter. And I said all of that to say this. I'm just wondering if we give him the money, are we going to lose him? Are we going to lose him? Is he going to fall into this category of just fighting these? Who? Who are you fighting? Who? Are you going to turn into that after you get the bag? Or are you going to see the bag and say, yo, I can get more? I want to fight the best. What's going to happen to our American fighter? That concerns me. And I think it's a real concerning, alarming thing with our young guys in this sport. I really do. Money changes a person. Sometimes it changes what you got into the sport. And the athlete forgets what got him rich. What bought you that car in the first place? Bringing the fans out. Then all of a sudden, it's less the fans and more the party. Look, check out my watch. Check out this AB I got. You know what I'm saying? And you forgot what bought that watch for you. And the fighter becomes entitled. So I'm not sure. It's just a question that sometimes sits in the back of my mind. You give these guys this money, then you don't see them no more. Then all of a sudden they're out there flipping their Corvette. And we as sympathetic fans, we gotta pay and believe in you that you're coming back to beat a guy at one point in time would have never beat you. Had you not caused that because we gave you the money, we gave you what you asked for, and you didn't know how to manage it. You didn't know how to live within the moment. There'll be time to flip Corvettes after my career's over. Had he stood disciplined, did his whole career, then went and partied later and then flipped his car, we will hope that he recovered and everything, but he would already be retired. We got the best out of him. Instead, we had to always be with what if. Because when you gave the fighter what they wanted, look what they did. You gave Tank Davis all that money. What happened? He never developed into the guy we knew he was going to be. Now, did he? And that's just a scary situation. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Round One. You know what I'm saying? That's what they call me in these boxing streets. Yo, Round One. Yeah, the Uno. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for tuning in here. I hope you liked the show. I hope you were entertained. And let's see if we get another show tonight. But I got to let you guys know, unfortunately, I will not be watching probably the William Cepeda fight. That is on my girl's birthday. And as of right now, I got to call fucking this arrangement place right now. I'm a little pissed off. No flowers got delivered yesterday. They were supposed to be delivered yesterday, and she's telling me ain't nothing there today. So, and I paid for an edible arrangement. Shit is expensive, bro. For she like with a fruit basket. Yo, bro, so I gotta get on that right now. You know what I'm saying? Make sure, last year, after 17 years of being with her, I might have forgot her birthday. You know what I'm saying? There was a possibility. There was a quick scramble, but I meant to do this. You know what I'm saying? But this year I'm on it. SoFi fans, love you guys. Love yourself. Do me a favor, share the video, subscribe to the channel, become a Round One Sports Talk member. Help me keep the channel going. And like always, I'm on to the next one. After this one, here at Round One Sports Talk. You guys have been the best.
Job well done.